Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Factorio. I've been sitting here trying to record for about a minute. So my FPS counter does something strange with this game. It usually sits at around 60 and sometimes when I record it will stay at 60 or it will drop down to about 45, sometimes even 30, and it keeps going up and down. It's really strange and it's doing it right now. So if the video seems a little bit different today, that might be why. And I've tried to get it to, to work. I've exited loads of programs on my computer and it's not doing it. So hopefully that's not going to affect the video. And welcome back. We have a lot that we want to do this episode. In fact, every episode we're always going to be trying to do as much as we can. And if we have a look here, you can see I've done some things in between. So let's talk about that. What I wanted to do here was get rid of all of this iron. Now, I realised that this is not the most useful of places or the most urgent for where we want to get rid of the ore so we can free up the space. But we're going to learn something by doing it, and then we're going to go and do it around other places as well. So, what we have right here is a lot more mining drills than we did last time. Since I've installed these, I haven't been attacked too many times. And then over here we have a belt which has some fast inserters. Now these things I think we should be using more frequently. As our system gets bigger and faster, these are definitely going to become more important. So I thought I would use them for now. And what we're trying to do here is create a buffer. So if you have a look at the stuff on the top side, it's all on the right side of the track. So what we can do is disconnect. Actually, we want to kind of disconnect it just over there. There we go, and oh well, that was what I was trying to avoid doing, was leaving some materials behind. So we can just let our track go across like that. And so now we're going to create a buffer with these chests. Now these fast inserters are going to be able to pick the stuff up very, very quickly. And if we go over here and enable some of these, you can see I've just disabled the chests, then we should see what this is going to look like when it's in action. So all of these guys are going to continuously put all of the stuff into the chests. And that's going to create a buffer, because the guys on the bottom are going to have tons of space on this side, but the guys at the top, you can see they stop because the iron is backed up when we're not using it. And then that means whenever we have a shortage of iron, which has been happening quite frequently, we do a lot of crafting, or I pick a lot of stuff off of the line, or we do some research, then it slows down a little bit, and this is going to keep it nice and sped up. And it seems to be doing exactly what I want it to, I think. It's kind of hard to tell at the moment. It could be that we're just producing the right amount for this. And if you have a look here, none of this is getting used either. I'll tell you what we could do with some of the faster tracks, which I don't think we've actually researched yet, so we'll look into that. Research is another thing that I've been doing. Oh, and by the way, you can destroy these stone rocks. If I click, nothing happens. However, if I use the shotgun, you can actually blow these up, which is awesome. Didn't know that, now I do. Good stuff. You may also notice that my tool belt is bigger as well. The way that this works is you can press 1 and pick up the item in that slot, but number 8, for example, is this one down here where the inserters are. So if we pick that up, oh, apparently maybe it's not. Oh, 10 it would be. So is it that button? Okay, I'm making a fool of myself here. So that's number 4, that's number 5, 6 is nothing, 7 is nothing. Okay, I've completely misunderstood how this works. So maybe it's only the top 5, and then if you hold down shift you pick them from the other side, like that. So that was shift and 3. So I'll investigate what the bottom row of those are. It'll be interesting to find out. So what else have we done? We have done not too much more. Been getting some steel. This is one of the things we're going to go and automate in a moment. When we next do a little cut, I'm going to come back. We're going to have steel automated. We're going to automate 2 other things as well. Over here I've expanded the amount of labs that we're using, so research is going a lot quicker, and it looks like we're getting a lot of baddies down the corner there. This is fine. When you see this alert right here, that just means that they've engaged the enemy. When you see the red one, it means that something's been attacked, and when you see the one with like the nuke on it, then it's, well, it's not the nuke, is it? The mushroom cloud. That means that something's been destroyed. And yeah, we're going to do some more research. So what one was I interested in there? This one right here, that might actually be good to get. And they're not too expensive to make. We could automate them at some point. So I haven't used these since I've come back to the game, by the way, so I think that's going to be fun to use. However, if we just have a quick look at some of the things we're researching, we're going to start needing science pack 3s soon, so we're going to have to head towards those. For now, I'm going to get these and make use of those. So the things that I want to automate, by the way, are down here. We're going to produce steel, and before we do that, we're also going to produce these 2 things as well. Now this one here needs electronic circuits, the other one or both of them even just need iron plates as well as transporter belts. So what I was thinking we're going to do is actually produce both of these together in the same place, because I don't think these are components for recipes of other things. They'll simply be produced so that we don't have to craft them manually, because what I do is I run around and I just go like that, and I pick up loads of stuff and then I craft what I need, which isn't the best way of doing it really. So if we have those things automatically crafted, we use a chest as a buffer, then we can walk along here, we can pick up those as well as these ones as well. And I might all reroute them or try and get them all to the same place, so we just have a group of chests that have all the things we want to pick up in them. So yeah, they're the two things we're going to add to the line. We're also going to add steel to the line over here somewhere as well, and we got a little bit of stone that needs mining up. That reminds me of two other things. First of all, cleared all of the trees. You can see inside our perimeter things are looking good. I like how this place is looking at the moment. And then over on the other side, like we've done over here, we're going to do the same thing with stone. I think I'm going to build like an area designated for chests for storing stuff. I think it's going to just be up here in this little space, because these guys will probably get expanded a little bit. And that was researched very quickly, wasn't it? Or was it? No, yes, researched. Okay, so we can do another one now. And what's the recipe for the fast one? It needs lubricant. Have no idea how you get that. Anyway, let's pick one of the ones. That one right there, that doesn't need any of the tier 3 potions. So yeah, I'm going to run a little setup over here to get rid of all of the stone as well. Probably going to do the same thing with the coal and every other patches of ore that we can find. So a lot to be done, and I'll be back with you in quite some time for me, in no time at all for you. And look at what I've done. None of the stuff I said I would, but I just remembered about the red tracks, so I added them down here. They're being throttled by the one in the front, so as we add the next ones, we should see what the speed of them is going to do. And by the way, it really did look like I stood here and watched it for a while. It wasn't actually doing anything, because only these two and these two here were active, whereas now we've got the two at the top active and all four of these, so these will be getting filled up. And we can see some of the stuff coming around from this one, but it did just occur to me we're using one side of the track down the bottom here. The reason why was because a moment ago we had it temporarily going onto this track where we wanted to keep it on one side, so we can actually use both sides of the track. So I do believe we do that. That's going to help a little bit, I guess. Yeah, it's going to leave more room for this one over here. And again, a splitter or something like that somewhere around here would make that a little better. But for now, it's doing what we want it to do, so it's not a problem. And there's a backup on the track because I've removed too much over on this side. So let's just put that there. And there we go. Things are good. Progress has been made and discoveries have been as well. So these mining drills, we're trying to cover as much of this area as we can. And they have this box around them. You can see that it's kind of highlighted. Now, it just occurred to me that that could be the area they actually mine from. So I dug up these tracks down here, and look, all of the stone that was underneath there was gone, because I anticipated after doing this system, you know, we'd have to move all of these around again just to get the bits where the tracks are. But it picks up everything from around it, and a couple more down the bottom here have finished as well. And this this mining operation has been quite successful. So once again, look, all of the stone has gone from underneath, which is really cool. So that's an interesting thing to learn. So as well as that, over on this side we are getting attacked constantly because of all the extra pollution. All that's going to come down from this side over here. And things have been a little bit slow. It has just kind of been quite tedious, I guess, doing all the little bits and bobs. You can see over here we've got a setup for storing lots of stone. These chests are rapidly filling up, so much so that I've got to move them down. And this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to move them down a line at a time and then build a big storage of stone from all the stuff we've mined in the area. Then over here we're going to do something similar, and this one's going to be for coal. We're trying to get all of this coal over here so we have more room for power. All of the coal over here as well, just haven't got round to doing that because I've been setting up some stuff on the system over here. So we built this little bit down the bottom here. This is going to keep a stack of these things. Actually, I think I'd like to have 2 stacks of those and 1 of the splitters, and down the bottom here I've moved our little chest for those, which is really cool. And while I was doing this, we had a kind of backup of electric circuits. At the moment they seem to be fine. I do believe the reason why is because of research. So let's talk about research. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm trying to cover everything that I do in these videos, and if you're following me along, then there's bits of research that I'm doing that may get overlooked. So let's have a look here. One of the important ones is that we can make electric furnaces. I also did the research for oils, I do believe, oil processing, which is something I'm not too familiar with. However, I don't see it down the bottom. Maybe I didn't actually do that one. Okay, so I might do this one next, and I'll explain why in a moment. We also did some solar energy research, and I think the next one we'll do is laser. That allows us to get the laser turrets, which is something we're going to need to upgrade to soon. So that's important. And I extended a little bit more down here just to create more of these things since they're so much in demand. So up the top here, I noticed that this thing was going real slow. At the moment you can't really see it because we've got all the materials here. And it's because we're limited to the speed of the inserter, and I've realised now that this system is a little redundant because that means everything's limited to that speed. And granted we can make a couple of modifications here and there, it's not the best system. So I put down a splitter over here, and I've got a feeling we might end up coming back here and redoing parts of this, especially when we upgrade to the higher speeds as well. Because if we've got fast transport belts and they're limited by smart inserters, it's not the best of things really, is it? So still learning a lot about the game, but I'm liking that, you know, just playing and having fun and learning things as you go. It's all good. So over here we were going to start the steel production, and then I thought, well, why don't we try and do this with the electric furnace? Because these ones right here, the steel furnace I do believe is like the stone furnace, maybe slightly faster or more efficient. That actually uses energy. Oh. Oh no. Okay, I'm slightly confused now. It's got energy consumption in kilowatts, yet you don't require actual energy. Maybe that's the energy consumption from the coal when it's converted. I don't know. Anyway, I know that this electric furnace is going to do it with electricity, so we don't have to run coal all the way over here to do steel. So if we don't do that, we would probably set up steel production somewhere down the back here, which would be quite annoying to move it over to the front just because the coal's in this area. Okay, it doesn't appear anywhere else in here because we haven't researched it yet, but the thing at the end is plastic bars, and I was kind of getting close to doing that, and now that I look at it, you need advanced circuit to do it as well. So I think actually we'd be better off creating a primitive steel setup where we use stone furnaces and we use some coal as well, which means we're going to split up the coal line somewhere and probably actually send it over here. That seems like the smarter way to do things. So that's what's coming next. Steel production. It's taking a long time. Going to do more research. We're going to start getting rid of this coal as well. This update is going to be brief. Just thought I'd show you the progress with the stone over here. Actually, I was just standing over there. I don't know why. We want to go over and have a look at the steel setup. This is actually quite easy to do because we've got all of this coal right here. So I figured, why don't we just send some of it over this way? And so it's going down here. And yeah, we've got one of these splitter things again. These are actually quite useful. And so it's being used over here by all of these steel furnaces. And it's backed up quite a lot as well. And these things go twice as fast. I had a look here. You can see crafting speed is increased, and those ones are the same as the steel ones. And now we've got tons of steel, so let's go and pick all of this up. We're going to use this for crafting other things, and it's going to go into our line for automation as well. So at this point I have no idea what's next, but I'm going to continue mining up little patches of stuff, like we've got some stone over here and the coal up the top, and I'll figure out what we're doing, and yeah, that'll be the plan. We'll get this stuff as well. Here's an interesting idea for you. These guys right here, they cover all of the land around the stone, so they're going to mine it up over time. It is obviously going to go slower. Not sure if that's how I want to do it, so I might add some more. But here's another cool thought. You can just put some steel chests in front of them. Now, the inventory size of these are 2,400, so all of these will fill those up over time. This one won't, and it does kind of take away from the automation of the game. But the thing is, if you've got a lot of space in your inventory and only a small amount of stone, like we have over here actually, there's a small patch that will probably be worth mining. It might be easier just to put down a couple of these and then carry it manually later rather than put down loads of tracks for such a small operation. So both of those right there can go into one steel chest. Once again, after recording, I've completely forgotten what the plan was, and I've just noticed I've messed up over the side here, haven't I? Okay, I'll fix that in a moment off camera. Okay, things are going to get backed up a little. I just upped the amount of production for the copper here, and at the moment things are going to their knees a little bit in the system. One of the things I wanted to point out is that with such a high demand for iron, it goes all the way up here, but this one is hardly ever active. The iron doesn't quite make its way up there, so maybe this part of the track we should upgrade to the next level. But I have been doing a whole bunch of things, so let's head over here. I've doubled the amount of labs that we've been using. At the moment the potions are backing up because we are not researching anything. So let's have a look at research. I've actually done a really large amount of research here. I decided to try and get through as many of the ones that just use the first two potions as possible, which is something I'm going to try and get done before the end of this episode. So that means a huge part of our research is done, and then we can focus on these ones right here in the next part of our assembly line. So let's have a look at some of the things we've unlocked here. Explosives, landmines and rockets, never played around with those. We have lasers. We have unlocked laser turrets, which are going to become useful soon. Actually, it's these ones over here. The reason why is because our defense is actually getting compromised quite a bit at the moment. I had to buff it up all over the place, and sooner than later we need to move to laser turrets. So we've also researched engine. With this we can I think build a car or something like that, and it just unlocks all sorts of things. We've got the battery. This is important for making those laser turrets. We'll be making batteries soon. And what else have we done? I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. I do want to go through it quickly because stuff like this, the electric energy accumulator. Now that sounds like something really cool. When I was playing around with the laser turrets in a previous world, whenever they would attack, they would use up so much energy, your whole system would sort of come to its knees for a second and then get powered up again. So building an array of these could be a really cool idea. And we've got more electric energy distribution upgrades. We're going to go look at that in a moment. We've got the railway. Going to be a while before I use that. We've got all the things to do with this. And I don't think there's anything else too interesting. Maybe the explosives, or is it flammables? Yeah, we can build a flamethrower now. I'm sure we can use that to burn down trees and stuff. But there you go, loads of research, moving our way through the tree quickly. We're going to get the rest of that done. So while I've been doing all of that research, the system has kind of been put to its knees a little bit. So one of the things I had to do over here was expand the production of red potions, and that didn't really help, although it does kind of look like... no, we're actually a little bit behind. This one has one more, yet we always got plenty of green potions, which is not how I expected it to work. As you can see, we are trying to mine up all of this coal. Things are not going too well with that because it's a little backed up at the moment, so that's something that I'm going to sort out. And at the moment there are just a few places like this where we really need to get rid of the resources. This patch over here so we can free up the space. I think I might have even expanded our fuel production down here as well. In fact I did, and I learned something. Over here you see we've got the 3 of these. Well, it wasn't bringing the temperature up to 100. As soon as we did that, these things were performing a lot better. If we have a look at that one up there, you can see actually its temperature is 100. Maybe there's a variable or something there I'm not aware of. But with 4 of those it seemed to be going better for a while. So what else is there? I think that's kind of it. Oh yeah, no, there's this little area over here I wanted to show you. So if you remember, we set up a couple of things over here to make... We've got the tracks, we've got the splitters, and we've got the tunnel things, underground belts. And then over here I've made a little quick setup for lamps as well, so they're now automated in production. We're actually going to take those, and this is a bit makeshift, a bit unorganized, but this area right here, you know, it's not good for a strip of stuff coming out because of the water, and you know, we're only doing it for one thing. One chest is our output, so it's fine. So it takes the iron it needs over here, it crafts it of this little bit right here into iron sticks, and this thing also needs electronic circuits from there, which is pretty cool. And then over here I've made another little cool thing. This uses... yeah, just copper and steel. So for the copper, what I did is I just wrapped the wrapped the circuit, the conveyor belt. Why can't I get the name of this right? Yeah, round like that, and then that means that these are, you know, directly next to this rather than one block out, which causes a little bit of a problem. These things, by the way, they make medium electric poles, and they make big electric poles as well. Now these have a subtle difference. When you look at them here, you can see the supply area is 7 by 7, the wire reach is 9. So this has a wire reach of 8. This is just a standard upgrade, something we're going to start using a lot more now. And then this one over here, you can see its supply area is only 4 by 4, so it's actually smaller than this one, but its reach is 30. So this is about, you know, transferring the energy across long distances, and these ones are about powering all the things around it, which is pretty cool. So I want to start using those. If we have a look over here, you can see our turrets are really starting to take damage. You can also see the amount of kills they've made when you hover over them, which is cool. That one's made none, 15, 33, and this way you can kind of assess where the most of them are coming through. And it looks like just over here we're going to need to beef up the turrets a little bit. And then up here you can see 80, 88, 118. There were so many coming over here that I had to beef up the defense again. So as we're expanding, as time's going on, these guys are getting stronger, and we've got to keep on top of them, so to speak. And we've got to be careful because we need to get upgraded to laser turrets soon. So I need to keep working on all of this stuff over here so we can expand our power production. That means removing the coal and the stone. And we want to get all of that research done as well so we can start building the next science packs. And there's more work to do as well because we need to get fluids and stuff handled. So let's have a look at what goes into the science pack. You can see over there we need batteries and we need plastic, and that's where we start using sulfur and stuff like that. So the recipe for a battery, you can see there, we need sulfuric acid, and it needs to be made in one of these things. So we're going to get to that stuff in the next episode. For now I just want to finish up the research, get as prepared as I possibly can, because the next step is going to take a lot of planning and research. And this little system over here is pretty cool as well. I do like it. You can see here some of these are getting really backed up. But anyway, yeah, I'll get all that research done. We'll do a few more things around the base, and then we'll be ready to do a lot of more production with the science packs in the next episode. So I've been doing more research, and we're really getting into stuff I have no idea what this is all about. Logistics, I vaguely remember something to do with robots and stuff like that. And if we just have a look at what's available now, there's so much stuff. I got to do some research. That's what I got to do in between episodes. But I know where we're going next. Next episode, as I said, probably going to look into plastics like that. So I've also done one of these little setups over here for the copper, and started expanding our copper mining because we want to dig up all of this space. Although actually, we don't really need it for anything else. But there you go. We're doing research, we're getting ready, and next episode we're going to start making those tier 3 science potions. So that is it for this episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. You know, it's always going to be appreciated. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.